Hey everybody, MotorPoet59 here. This is going to be another public service announcement, and this one involves scammers. I bought a new computer at the end of last year, and it came with Windows 11. I had been using Windows 10, and prior to that 9, and 9 and 10 worked essentially the same way, not many differences at all. Windows 11 was very different, had a very different, and any of you who made that change know that. I've talked to a few of my friends who made that change that are really computer savvy, and it's just no big deal to them. They figured it out. I'm okay with computers, but I'm not that great. And I was having some issues moving files around within Windows Explorer. It's not complicated, but it's just a lot different. And so I thought, you know what, there are a couple of other issues I had with it that were confusing. So I thought, you know what, I will get hold of Microsoft customer support and see what they have to say. As it turns out, that was my first mistake. Going to Microsoft.com, and I just Googled moving files in Windows 11, and it brought up look, Microsoft.com, www.microsoft.com. Contact us. So I called them, told them what the issue I was having, and the first thing that happened was the guy I was talking to, this is an Indian person, but he didn't seem to understand what I was trying to ask him about moving these files around. And while we were talking, I started moving around, and he said, have you tried this? And I opened some stuff, and I thought, you know what? I'm an idiot. I didn't tell him that. He probably had already figured that out because I called that number. But as I was messing around, it's like, you know what? I'd been trying to copy stuff into these files, and it wasn't working right. So I just did the cut and paste into, which is still more complicated than it used to be. But no, it's not more complicated. It's just different. And I had him on the phone. I said, hey, you know what? I've got this. I got this. I tried this. It worked. I appreciate your time. And then when I was ready to hang up and say, hey, thanks a lot, he says, look at this. Has somebody else been using your computer? And this is my brand new computer, and it's still brand new because it has, not only is that Windows 11, it has Adobe Premiere Elements 2026, which I still haven't got a handle on. So I just kind of keep that shuttered. And the only reason I turned it on today was it's where I have my Southern Pacific Golf Club information. The current stuff, I've taken over a new position in the golf club of handling all the handicaps, and all that stuff and those formulas are on my new computer. Other than that, I still use my old dependable Dell with Windows 10 on it to work, to do my videos and all that. So that computer sits over here, turned off, and no access to it. And he said, yeah, somebody has accessed stolen your Google password for your emails. And he showed me this thing. It had all these warnings, and he went into this, load this, and we'll come in and look at your computer, and you can show me what you're trying. You can show me what you want. And I told him, I already figured that out. What are you talking about? And I loaded a remote. Second stupid thing I did. I should have just hung up when I was done and not let him get me rattled about all these warnings. And he showed me, he opens one of the black windows, and it shows a bunch of stuff, and then it goes down to the directory where you're going to have to enter something. And he kept talking in circles. And I said, what do I need to do to fix this problem? And he just kept talking in circles and telling me what was wrong and showing me these things within this. And I kept telling him, I understand that. What is it that I need to do to fix this? And I guarantee you this whole thing was gearing toward me giving him personal information. And it was already starting to sound fishy. And I kept telling him, "You're not helping me." And he just kept. And I watch a scammer. I can't remember the guy's name. He's got blue hair. He's funny as hell. He's got a team. They go in. They attack scammers' computers. So I've kind of learned a little bit about how these guys behave themselves. And he became very aggressive. Mark, do you hear me? Can you hear me? And I said, okay, you need to tell me what I need to do. And I said, but I'm not giving you any information. So anyhow, whatever I signed on to wasn't Microsoft, and they knew it, and they were going to try to get me to give them that information. And I told him, I said, you know what, this sounds awful fishy. And he said, no, you called us. We're just helping. And it's like, you're not helping. So he said, I'm going to transfer you to my senior technical advisor. And at that point, I hung up the phone. I shut off my computer. I closed all my programs out, shut off my computer, and took it down to my computer guy at Ace Computer here in Bakersfield. If you live in Bakersfield or in the surrounding area and you want a really good computer guy, Ace, his prices are comparable. He's not cheap, but he's not expensive. Very comparable. Everybody charges about the same to do all that stuff. But anyway, Ace Computer over on Coffee Road. Very good guy. But anyhow, so I took it over there. I told him what happened. He goes, no, those are scammers. Something I found out that I didn't know is he said Microsoft doesn't have customer support, really. They don't have tech support. He said there's no phone number that you can call to get somebody to talk to you that's from Microsoft. So he said if you have problems, just bring it to me and we'll get it figured out. So if you're having a problem with your computer, with your Microsoft, with Windows, which I was, just find a computer person and go down. Tell them what's going on. Tell them what you're trying to figure out and let them explain it to you. They know how all this stuff works. And don't allow anybody access to your computer. I've done it with Adobe a few times, but I've been using Adobe for the entire time I have had my YouTube channel. But yeah, don't call Microsoft. You're not going to get Microsoft. This, like I said, this was www.microsoft.com, and it had an 888 phone number, area code phone number, and I got, as I said, I got a fishy feeling about it pretty quickly. So be very careful about who you allow to help you with your computer network. I have McAfee on my computer, and as I said, it was always turned off, so there's no way it could have had it was thousands of these warnings that he showed me. There's no way it could have had that. And I went back into my Google account and changed my password just in case. But according to Google, my password hadn't been compromised there for my email or my Google account. I don't know. I'm okay with computers, but I'm certainly no wizard with them. And most of the people I know are in the same boat I am. So be very careful. Be aware. And if it sounds like someone is trying to, then this isn't just your computer. This is anything, banking stuff, whatever. If it sounds like they're trying to keep you on the phone or on your computer or something, just hang up. Hang up, start over, do a little more research and try to figure out what's going on. And if they call you, I used to tell my dad all the time, I do it. If somebody calls me and I don't know and I don't recognize the number, it's not identified or I don't recognize it, I don't answer the phone. If they want to talk to me, they can call me back. Same thing with emails. I get emails all the time that and some of them don't go to my spam folder, but it's like they're spam. I can tell by looking at them. So be aware. Be careful. Don't hand out information to anybody of any kind. That guy even he didn't ask for my social security number, but he was saying, yeah, your social security number could be compromised too. And that's when I really started getting sketchy about it. So anyway, be careful. Don't let these people get over on you. I know people who have fallen into these scams, and it's cost them, some of them, a little bit of money, and some of them a lot of money. Be aware. If you have parents who are elderly, make sure that they don't. It used to just piss me off about my dad. He answered his phone no matter what. And I used to tell him, stop doing that. Stop, and he got taken for $500 one time. Don't let that happen. All right. I got nothing else to say about that. Let me know in the comments below if you've had dealings with these Microsoft companies, or maybe I don't know, maybe Apple has these scammers too, probably. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. Be careful, take care, and we'll see you around.